I've really, the last few days, really been having a lot of fun. It's been really different. I received your package, by the way, and all the candy and everything in it. It was really good. My favorite chocolates, cherry chocolates. I haven't seen anything like that for about 8 months now, and going on 9. I'm not drunk or anything. And the popcorn, I got that, and that was good. Had to pay £2.14 and 4, about let's see, about $8 for the one big package that had the candy and things like that in it, the clothes and everything. Because of customs duty, there's a custom duty on candy, and you probably could have made it through customs if you'd wrote on the outside, that just had clothing and candy in it. But where you just put gift on it, why they always have to open it up, because some gifts are subject to customs duties over here. So they opened it up and looked in there and assessed me about $8 for it. Kind of chapped me off, but it was well worth it. The socks and everything were badly needed. I just threw one pair of socks away because one had a great big hole in it. I got a little close to the paraffin heater, kerosene heater, they call it paraffin over here. Got a little bit close to it and burned a big hole in my socks. Since we've moved, the new landlady is quite different. She's typically English person, and she's been trying to get us to adjust to the cold. Over here they open their windows all the time. Well, they have to because the houses aren't centrally heated, and the house would get so stuffy that they just can't stand it, so they have to open the windows. Hardly any of the houses over here have central heating. If they do have central heating, it's generally by steam. So what they do is they get a little gas heater or paraffin heater, as I said, huddle around it in one room. They all stay in one room and keep it warm, and then they like to go to bed where it's cold. She's been trying to get us to adjust to this, going to bed while it's cold. I bought an electric blanket, so I don't have to worry too much. But she's really nice to us. The other day, I lost my appetite, couldn't eat too much, and she really was nice to me and fixed me lots of stuff that was good for me. I was in bed, and she brought up a boiled egg and some dry toast, which was really nice. She put a hot water bottle in my bed that night. I thought it was quite funny. I had to laugh. It's just she's kind of got this motherly touch. Typically English person. I want to thank you once again for helping us in our labors with Tony and Ann Favaloro. They're really a wonderful family, and I really feel like the Lord sort of gave me a Christmas present there in a way, because they're the most golden people. They're people that an elder comes looking for on his mission. Over here, when you baptize people, why, you're pretty lucky if you ever get a family. Generally, just mostly one person out of a family. But they're really a nice little family. She's 21 years old, and he's 29. He's from Italy, Sicily, actually. Immigrated to England about 7 years ago. And they've got 3 lovely little daughters. And we had quite a time teaching them the discussions. Every time we'd go there and set up the flannel board, why, the kids would come and try to pull the characters down, knock the flannel board over. My companion was a greenie, so I taught all the discussions to him, and he'd have to play with the children while I taught the discussion and tried to keep the flannel board halfway decent looking. It was really a challenge. they were really golden all the way through, but we had to fight and battle with them. After we taught them the first discussion, Tony stood up and afterwards and said that he could see the truthfulness in our message. He was a member of the Roman Catholic Church, and you know how Italians are anyway about their church. But boy, he just really cut it low. He just everything that just about that the church changed since the time of Christ, he could see. The Spirit was really in the room, and I know that it moved him to say those things. He was talking about how the clergy dressed up and how they changed the sacrament to a token instead of using bread, and the clergy being paid, things like this. It was just really great. It just really was wonderful. Then we taught them the word of wisdom. Both of them smoked quite heavily. And over here instead of saying they smoke 2 or 3 packs a day, why you say they smoke 20 or 30 cigarettes, because they have different size packs. You can buy cigarettes in packs of 10 over here, or packs of 20, packs of 40. They, between them, smoked about 60 or 70 cigarettes a day. And when you get to the part in the discussion where it says, perhaps we can help you by taking these things with us, should we do that? And Tony says, what are you going to do with them? Smoke them? And I says, no, I'm going to throw them away. He says, I'll be more than happy to buy them from you or anything. But some people, you have to really commit them hard. I was sitting there trying to commit Anne especially on the word of wisdom, and she went running out of the room crying, and she wouldn't have anything to do with it. Tony went out and really cussed her out, and then I came in and threw his cigarettes in the fire. And so we got up and left. Came back the next day, and he was still smoking. He'd gone out and bought another pack of cigarettes. She didn't want to be baptized. I really thought it was all over. And I once again strengthened my testimony of fasting and prayer, because Elder Larson and I went on a fast that day for them, especially Ann. We talked with the Lord several times that day concerning them, and well, as a result, when we went back, they were ready to quit. I tried to take Tony's cigarettes away from him again, and he wouldn't give them to me. I remember something Thompson told me. I hope you're there, Thompson, to hear this. That they take the cigarettes and write something on them with your pen. Just write some little saying on there that applies to the situation. So I took all of Tony's cigarettes and wrote the question on there. Tony had a real strong testimony of the gospel, so I figured if I wrote on there, do you really want this, that maybe he'd trick his conscience. There was a package of 20 of them. There were about 15 cigarettes in there when I did it. That was on Saturday. Sunday we went to pick him up for church, and he handed me the package of cigarettes. Said he didn't want to have anything to do with it. So did Ann. She didn't want anything to do with it either. The package still had 10 cigarettes in it, so I'd only smoked 5 cigarettes during the night. They haven't had any problem with it since. In fact, Ann said she couldn't believe how easy it was to live the word of wisdom, which is just a testimony to me of the fact that the Lord won't give us a commandment that we can't live. They've really been blessed by it as well. So we taught them the rest of the discussions. We got to tithing. When we told Tony about tithing, boy, it was really bad. People over here don't make too much money. You can't believe how they live. Their houses over here, they live in what are called council houses. I'll send you some pictures of these council houses. They're all joined together. It looks like a big giant motel is what it looks like. You know how motels are all joined together like that. Well, that's how the people live over here. They live in these council houses joined together, and so the next door neighbor is just a slap in the face away. And they live in these council houses. He's a chef, and he makes about 14 pounds a week. In dollars and cents, that's about $40 a week. That's what he makes. And they have, his wife is, Ann is a pretty expensive girl. And she likes to spend money, and they have this furniture set that cost them about 175 pounds, about $300, $300 or $400, about $400 actually. And a few other bills. All of their money was spent. And we sat down, while we were committing them on tithing, we sat down and tried to work it out, to where they could live the law of tithing. Boy, they just wouldn't do it. 6 hours I spent. I spent 2 hours in a member's house down in Taunton, about 50 miles away. It was his uncle, trying to commit him, and then 4 hours again in his house trying to commit him. Finally, he just said no, he wouldn't live it. Told us to leave and not to come back. And boy, that was already after he'd had the Book of Mormon. He had the Book of Mormon that you had sent over, Mother. And here I'd written you this letter about how cool he was and everything, and then he packed us, and boy, I just really felt bad. I could have just gone home and cried. And I just got down and told the Lord that night that I felt that they should be in the church. Of course, I wasn't going to tell him how to run the show, but if they came in, why, I knew it would be an act from him and not anybody else. Well, Tony, I guess the Lord really worked on him, and that night he went over to talk to a member about tithing, and the member told him how hard it was for him to live it as well, but they finally were able to live it. Tony really loved his Italian translation of the Book of Mormon. He was reading it, and he read in there where Nephi went to Laban to get the brass plates, and how he said that I will go and do the things which the Lord hath commanded, for I know the Lord giveth no commandment unto the children of men, save he shall prepare a way for them, and so on and so forth. And so he thought, well, I'll just give it a try. So Tony spent the next day trying to find us. And, well, he got hold of several people, but he never did get a hold of us. We were out tracking and trying to find more people. And when we came back for our tea that night, we call it tea. Well, I can't believe how used to these English sayings. We call our supper tea. That's tea time. It's 5:30 over here. Everybody eats at 5:30. So you've probably heard of the famous English tea time, and that's what it means. When they say over here they're eating their tea, actually eating their supper. So we came in for our tea, and the branch president was sitting there waiting for us. He'd said that he'd received a phone call from Tony, and we'd gone over to see what was going on, and Tony had said that he wanted to be baptized, and his wife along with him. And when he told us that, boy, I just couldn't believe it. He'd ordered us out of the house and been really rude to us and everything. And when we went back, we got about 20 feet to his house, and he threw open the door and come running out, told us to come in. We had a good laugh about it. It was pretty good. And that Sunday night they were baptized. It was really wonderful. We're fellowshipping them now, teaching them the fellowshipping discussions. And the other day while we were over there, we always have a closing prayer, kneel with them. And Ann was saying the prayer. And she thanked the Lord for the testimony which he had of the truthfulness of the gospel. And boy, I tell you, Thompson knows what I'm talking about when I say this. When you work with people just really hard, as long as you possibly can, you just work with them just as hard as you can, and you pray about them, and dream about them, and walk the floor about them and everything, and then to finally have them come through the waters of baptism and to grow and develop in the church, and then to hear them offer a prayer and thank the Lord that you came to their door, and thank the Lord for the testimony they have of the gospel. It just rips your old heart right out. And it's that thing that's more valuable than money. That is one reason why the mission is so great. Tony the other day was in church, and he went to priesthood meeting, and he came out. He'd asked the district president's counselor when he could hold the priesthood. He's only been in the church a week, and they told him that as soon as they could get the form sent in, they'd ordain him. He could become a deacon. So, boy, it was so funny. Tony had such a rough time with tithing and everything. He says, "Well, just a minute," he says, "I got to go pay my tithing." He went running up to the branch president's office to pay his tithing. So he was just so overjoyed he couldn't believe it. He went running home to tell Ann, and Ann was so happy for him and everything. It's just really great. They gave us, Elder Larson and I, they gave us some shirts for Christmas. We're giving them since how he's a chef, not necessarily because he's a chef, but we're giving them a silverware set. It cost us 36 shillings, which is about, let's see, have to get my conversion here. It's about $6 worth, $6 or $8 worth. And it should be a pretty nice gift for them. They're certainly worth it. They're really wonderful people. Tony's going to fix us some pizzas for our elders' Christmas party. On Christmas Eve, the assistant to the president suggested that the district get together and so that they wouldn't get so homesick on Christmas Eve, which is pretty funny for me. I don't get homesick. They say that the district should get together on Christmas Eve and have a little party so we wouldn't get homesick. And so Tony's going to fix the pizzas for us. So it should be a lot of fun. Well, I've had quite an experience these last few days. Since Monday, today is Friday, and since Monday I've been gone. Last night was the first night I slept in my own bed. For Monday and Tuesday we went to Cardiff in Wales, and there was a Christmas party up there, and I was chosen to be the master of ceremonies. So anyway, the whole mission has a Christmas party. This year they divided it into two halves. There's 4 zones in this mission. And Zone 1 and 2 met in Cardiff in Wales, and Zone 3 and 4 met in Plymouth, down in England, down on the coast. You've probably heard of Plymouth. And so I was chosen to be the master of ceremonies. And so I got to go to both Christmas parties. It was a pretty good honor. I really enjoyed myself. Had a lot of fun doing it. Got to see all my old friends, some of my old companions, and had a lot of fun. Got up there and had a big turkey dinner there in the chapel in Cardiff. A nice chapel up there. And just to see everybody, it was really, really worth it. And then that night, remember me telling you about my friend Elder Hovenden that just made his own leader. He was up there, and he and I and the person that is traveling with him, incidentally, we call him, Thompson will know what I'm talking about here. The zone leader's companion is called a traveler, and anyone who's called to travel, they're thinking of making him a district leader, and to see if he's got leadership abilities, they call him to travel. So That's what a zone leader's companion is in this mission. It's probably different in the California Northern California mission. I've heard it was. I've heard it was different in the California North mission. I've heard that anyone they're thinking about making a district leader, they have them work with a district leader. But I don't know. Anyway, that's the way it is over here. So he traded his companion to somebody else, and he and I went and stayed in this one elder's digs up there in Cardiff. So it didn't cost me anything, but the zone leader and his traveler, of course they travel around quite a bit, and so they have sleeping bags. So I slept on the floor Monday night in Cardiff, Wales. On Tuesday, had a testimony meeting which lasted till 12 o'clock. And then after the testimony meeting broke up, Elder Pay, which is Elder Hovenden's companion, and myself went to High Wycombe. It's clear up out of the mission. It's way up north. The reason we went up there was because there's an American Air Force base up there, and we pulled a few strings and got a hold of some Hires root beer and some American hamburger and some American buns and some French's mustard and some Hunt's ketchup. All of this they don't have over here. Their mustard over here is, well, it's, you know what horseradish mustard tastes like at home. You know how harsh it is. Well, that's what the mustard somewhat like it is over here. So all of these things are delicacies to us. They're worth driving 100 or 200 miles, whatever it was, up there to get this stuff. So Tuesday afternoon, we drove up there, loaded up the car. Man, it was so great. Went on this American Air Force base, and all these American cars, the whole parking lot was just full of American cars. Saw a couple of Chevy Camaros. Haven't seen any of those. Oh, I've seen one since I came over. And I saw a Plymouth just like Uncle C.H.'s, the one that he had when I left. And boy, it was just like home. And we went in the cafe, and all their dealings there on the Air Force base are done in American money. And it was really different to get the old American money out. And we bought some hamburgers. Their hamburgers over here are really bad. If you get any at all, it's terrible. 100% ground beef, ears and all. You know, they grind up the whole cow, the bones, and oh, it's bad. So anyway, it was really a delicacy. And you look up there on the board, and it says root beer floats 20 cents, and hamburgers 15 cents, and everything. And boy, it was different. So we sat down and enjoyed a good old hamburger, and we went into this store there and saw all the American things. They had Prel shampoo and Aqua Velva aftershave lotion, and there's where we bought the mustard and everything. They had American candy bars. We bought a Mars bar and a few things like that, Lifesavers. Spent American money, bought it with American money. It was just like a little bit of home there. Then this guy who was getting all this stuff for us took us over to his house. And he's a young guy. He's about 25, and his wife is about 23. Real nice-looking girl from Memphis, Tennessee. And she had long black hair. She had a little southern accent, and boy, I'll tell you, that was nice. We sat down to their table, and she fixed us a nice tuna fish casserole, American style, and their house was nice and warm. They had heaters all over the place, and she just really did a nice job. Really made us feel like home. It was just like setting your foot inside of America for about 2 hours. Just really felt great. So that night we went from High Wycombe back to Swindon, which is Swindon's the place where Elder Hovenden was the district leader after he got moved out of Bournemouth. And there's a married couple in the States. You know how married couples go on missions and stuff. Well, Brother and Sister Hyde were living there, and Elder Hovenden became good friends with them. So we went there, and she's just the sweetest lady. She's really nice. she reminds me of Aunt Jenny, the way she talks and everything. And so you know how sweet and nice she is. And he's an elderly gentleman, about 69, and just really a humble man. Humble and good, just wonderful people to be around. And we sat there in their little kitchen. It kind of reminded me of the camper. Remember how we used to go on the camping trips and how you used to fry the hamburgers, Mother? And we'd sit there. Well, that's what it kind of reminded me of, because the kitchens over here are really small. And we sat there, and she fried the hamburgers, and we just stuffed ourselves. It's right to the brim. I was full. I was really full. And so we just really enjoyed ourselves. We slept on their floor Tuesday night. And Wednesday, we went down to Plymouth. And had the Christmas party down there in Plymouth for the other two zones. You probably heard my doorbell ringing. Had to stop for a minute. That was my old companion, Elder Pierce. He's in the mission home now. He's been promoted. He's a mission accountant. He brought my root beer over. Tell you how I lost it. I lost the whole mess. But anyway, we were down in Plymouth. Wednesday, Elder Holden and Elder Pay and I traveled down. Got to Plymouth about 1:30 in the afternoon. Started the program. I emceed the program down there. Got to see everybody. Had a good time that night. We went to a big posh hotel, and the whole bill was paid. They fed us turkey and everything. One of my old companions, remember Elder Munns, he was my companion down there in Ringwood, played the piano, and he's just a really good piano player. Fantastic. He played the piano, and I felt posh as flip. I couldn't believe it. It was just like sitting around and enjoying yourself, because that's what we did. And then that night we slept at a members' home. There was about 6 of us, brother and sister Reeson, English members, and they treated us really good. They just really great at it. They've got a 16-year-old daughter, and she doesn't look 16. She looks about 18 or 19. She's got red hair, good-looking girl, and so we had a nice little hostess and good meal, and I slept on the floor that night, but it was on a mattress, so it wasn't too bad. The next day we had a testimony meeting in Plymouth, just like we did in Cardiff. And then on the way back, I rode back with Elder Holden. Elder Holden had to stay in Plymouth, so I rode back in a van with the mission home staff. Really getting up in the world. And I left all my root beer and my hamburger and my mustard and everything in the van. So anyway, Elder Pierce just came over just now and brought my root beer back. The mustard's still in the van, and I'm going to let him keep the hamburger up to the home because they have a freezer up there. And they keep it until about New Year's, and I think New Year's we'll go over to a member's house and throw a great big party, have hamburgers, and should be a lot of fun. Well, I hope everything is well at home. Hope Uncle C.H. gets a chance to hear this tape as well, because I want to tell him that I'm very grateful to him for all that he's done for me. He's helped me a lot in my life, and he sent me $10 the other day. And I certainly want to tell you, Uncle C.H., that I'm grateful to you. Good old Thompson and Gay, and I'm grateful for you as well. I may have difficulty calling you on New Year's Eve because most of the lines are reserved. I'm trying to get a line, but I don't think I'm going to be too successful, so I may have to call you later on. when I can get a hold of a line. So this tape will probably get to you after it's all over, but you'll be able to understand really why. See, what can I say to you? Janie, how you doing, kid? It's really do miss you. You're my baby sister. Sure hope you don't get married till I get back, so I'll have somebody to take to the show when I first get back. Should be pretty scared of girls by then. I guess you listen to the top 40 all the time over there. You don't get too much of a chance to listen to what goes on over here, but I can tell you that I heard the Supreme's new record. It's not too new anymore. It's called Reflections. I really like that. And we get most of the American records over here. Seems like most of the pop stars are English stars, so we hear most of the pop records. English people are really different. It took quite an adjustment to get used to them. Some of the members of the church, which are English, don't seem too English because of their acceptance of the gospel. They become more receptive to the truth and how things really should be. Too much of this country over here is so spiritually dead that they just don't seem to understand what we're trying to tell them at the doors when we come up and knock on the doors. And we do lots of tracting over here, lots and lots of it, 8 and 10 hours a day, going out searching truth seekers. Well, looks like this tape is just about run out, so why don't you turn the tape over there at home, and I'll turn mine over here, and I'll see if I can think of anything else to say on the other side. I might just recap what's happened to me so far briefly on my mission, the places I've been. Seems like it's always more effective to speak in person and put my own voice inflections into it than what you can just read in a letter. I started out on my mission working with a district leader down in Bournemouth, and this man's name was Elder Yarrington, a very fine man. He taught me a lot about teaching the gospel to people. I learned my discussions then. And after I'd been out 5 weeks, Elder Yarrington was made a zone leader, and Elder Hovington came down there to Bournemouth. He was a new district leader, and he had me transferred out to Ringwood, and I was made a co-senior at that time. Co-senior companionship is where both elders are equally matched, and they try to do their best. And this was pretty much a record, I guess, being out only 5 weeks and being made a co-senior. I was also made a district missionary advisor at that time, about a week after that. And his job is to arrange district missionary meetings and get the district missionaries fired up to go out and do the work, and then to go out and work with them and show them how to tract and teach the gospel and everything, which was quite a calling because I hardly even knew how to do it myself. When I was put in Ringwood, my companion's name was Elder Thompson, and he didn't know his discussions. He'd been out 8 months and he hadn't learned his discussions yet, so he learned them while he was with me. And we had a really big area. The area was 25 miles across, and our tracting area was 5 miles away, so every morning we got on our bicycles and took off for Burwood, where we were tracting, and Elder Thompson and I would say our discussions to each other while we cycled along. Therefore, I learned my discussions a lot better. In fact, I learned them almost word perfect, and Elder Thompson learned his really well as well. After I was out 2 months, Elder Thompson was transferred, and I was given a greenie, my first greenie. An elder fresh over from the States is a greenie, and his name was Elder Munns. He's the fantastic piano player. He played ragtime professionally for $12 an hour, I think it was, and he played in Disneyland. He had an opportunity to play in Disneyland, but he gave it all up to come on his mission. Been to a year at BYU. And we learned together. He taught me a lot, as every one of my companions has. And while we were together, we saw a few baptisms. Might mention that Elder Thompson and I, when we were together, saw a couple as well, and we've been really blessed with, I have anyway, with some wonderful people on my mission to teach the gospel to. Just got a Christmas card from a lady the other day, the first lady I baptized on my mission, Sister Green. Really a dear old woman, and she's got a strong testimony of the gospel. One of the most prepared people I've ever taught on my mission. Down there, Ringwood was such a ways from Bournemouth, about 15 miles from Bournemouth, and that's a long ways over here. Not too many people have cars, and it's hard for them to get to church, so we started a Sunday school there so that they'd have a means of going and partaking of the sacrament, and being able to grow and develop in the church. And my first opportunity of seeing someone baptized, not in a baptismal font, down in Ringwood. And baptized a young man down there. We baptized him in a lovely pool out in the middle of a forest. And it was really a wonderful experience. After that, I spent about 4 months in Ringwood. I was transferred to Bristol to play on the basketball team. And I might mention that the basketball team is doing quite well. It'll probably break up here before too long, and I'll probably be transferred out of Bristol before too long. And I was made the district missionary advisor up here as well. I was given a few more district missionaries to work with, and I have a wonderful area here in Bristol, and it's a good opportunity to work near the mission home. You are able to get things a lot easier. It doesn't cost any money to call the home, and you have to call every once and again to find out what's going on. And so I have really enjoyed my stay here in Bristol. I'm not looking forward at all to leaving. I've made some great friends here. And, well, Tony and Ann, and as well as other people that have come into the church. Baptized another family, the Curtis family, and a few more people. They've just really been wonderful to us. Had a family that was inactive, and we've been working with them, and they've invited us over to spend Christmas Day with them. And I think this is a wonderful gesture of love, a great example of what the gospel will do for people. And Ann's having a birthday on January the 7th, and she's invited us to come down to Torquay, a big resort area. Won't be too much of a resort area this time of year, however. But I'm really looking forward to that. Going down there to her birthday party. Should be a lot of fun. Excuse me. while I belch. Let's see, what else could I tell you I've been doing? Well, my companion, Elder Larson, is really a wonderful man. I haven't told you about all my companions yet. Got as far as Elder Munns. After I was transferred to Bristol, I had Elder Graber, had him for a week, and he was transferred to Plymouth as they moved more basketball players in. And Elder Watkins was my new companion. Fine man, he's doing fine on his mission now. And I learned a lot from Elder Watkins, and he'd been out about, I guess, 2 months when I first got him. After Elder Watkins was Elder Pierce, as the elder that just came over tonight to bring the root beer over. And Elder Pierce has been out, 16 months now, I guess. And he taught me a lot about missionary work, and the fact that I didn't know too much about what was going on around me. And he taught me a lot about that. After Elder Pierce and I got broken up, I was giving Elder Larson another greenie, my second greenie now. Elder Larson's a really fine man now. He's been out a couple of months almost. I guess there's a couple of months here before too long. And really learned to love him a lot. He's a big man, about 6'5", and we walk around together and really scare the trousers off of people. They don't know what big people are over here. Everybody over here is really small. They see a person my size, and that way it really shocks them. And so when they see 2 people, it shocks them even worse. Thompson, I want to say a few words to you right now. I really want to thank you for sending me the letters that you sent me and keeping me in touch. Sounds like you and Gay are really doing fine, have a wonderful relationship, and I'm really happy for you. You tell me in your last letter that Bill has a boring outfit. I think it'd really be great. Boy, I'm looking forward to building an engine when I get home too. In fact, I'm thinking about building the whole car. Haven't really decided what it's going to be yet. But I've been thinking about building it out of a Chevy engine. So you asked me what my preference was between Chevy and Ford. I really think you'd be better off with a Chevy engine because Chevys wind out tighter than Fords do. And flip. After that XL, I mean, the 390 should have been a lot hotter than it was, really, when I think about it. And it used too much oil. And Chevy engines just, I think, are a little bit better for racing and things. I haven't got any of that out of my blood. Still a hot rodder. Every time I get a hold of a car over here, I just really hot rod it. Might mention that I don't get too much of a chance to drive over here. The district leaders have vans, which they trade off with other district leaders. They're about the size of a VW bus. Most of them are Commer vans. However, the new vans that they're buying now are Fords. They're called Ford Transits. They're pretty nice little vans. I drove one yesterday down in Plymouth, and they really handle nice. They're nice little vans. The zone leaders have Vauxhall Vivas. I can't remember if we have Vauxhalls in the States or not. But anyway, Vauxhall is the bloke Chevy. The Chevrolet Corporation over here is called Vauxhall, and everything they put out. The three main car companies over here: Ford, Vauxhall, and BMC, British Motor Corporation. And BMC are the ones that make Austin Healey's and Aston Martins, as well as the just the regular Austin. They make the Austin Minis, things like that. Then for the sports car fan, the bloke answer to the Stingray is the E-Type Jaguar. And when you drive by in an E-Type Jaguar, I guess you can pick up just about any girl in town. Of course you can anyway, that's no problem. English girls over here are really, oh boy, it's bad. This country has no morals at all. It's just, oh, bad. For Christmas Eve, what they do is they, down in the center, the town center, they just line up in two big lines, and the girls all kiss the boys, and the boys all kiss the girls. Today, Elder Larson and I were downtown, and we're walking along, and all of a sudden, man, there was this couple, and they were just really laying it on, and standing right there in the middle of the sidewalk. Just passionate kiss. Really going at it. And he did it for several minutes there. We stood and watched them. It's just really bad, right in broad daylight. And of course, anybody who got an American accent, and if you have a car, boy, it's just easy as it can be. So we have to really be careful. Even the girls that are members of the church over here, even though they're warned and forewarned about elders and things, they never seem to listen. Fact is, I think there's going to be a little problem come out of a situation where one of the elders on the basketball team, he just lives a couple of roads down. He and his companion just live a couple of roads down from where we're living now. And he's been, this girl, member of the church, she's an unmarried mother, and she had her baby and everything before she became a member, before she was baptized. After she was baptized, of course, she repented and everything, and she's been a good girl, but she went inactive for a little while. And Elder Taft and his companion, well, not necessarily his companion, but Elder Taft was instrumental in getting her active again by going over to her house all the time, and then picking up her little nipper and carrying him to the bus stop while they went to the bus to go to church and everything. It's been pretty bad. So I kind of wish the mission home knew about it so they transfer him out before anything happens. Elder Taft's a smart boy. I'm sure he'll never do anything bad. But I would just like to see him get moved out. She's, got marriage on the brain. He doesn't want anything to do with it. He's got a girl at home. Anybody that'd marry a bloke girl is out of it anyway. So you can take it by that. I don't plan on bringing a girl home with me. Bloke girls are just bad. They drop out of school over here when they're 15, and they're dumb, stupid. They don't have any education, and they're ornery, hard to get along with for the most part. On the average, they're uglier than the American girl. So I just soon marry a Yank. I think that anything American is just great. Pam's been writing me quite regularly, and the way she talks now, she wants to hang around until I get back off my mission. And she wants to look me up and see if things are still the same as they were. So, if she waits, fine. She'll make a good wife, I guess. I shouldn't talk that way, because I don't plan on getting married when I get back. But she'll make somebody a good wife anyway. She's a good kid. And when I get back, I think I've been thinking a little bit about it. Don't think I'm getting drunked out here, because I'm not, but when I get back, I've been thinking about going to the Y again for a semester, maybe two, till I get my grades back up. And then I'd like to transfer to the U and finish out my schooling there. Go to the U, live in Salt Lake, be a lot more convenient than commuting. I'm still planning on going into medicine, and I've thought a little bit seriously about this, and I'm thinking about going into some branch of psychiatry. Whether I do this or not, I don't know. I have to see. But it'd take me a long time to become a psychiatrist, but after my first paycheck, I could sit down and enjoy it. So my mission sparked a new desire to learn just about anything I can. And this is something that I lacked before. Before a person can do anything at all, they've got to know what they're doing and why they're doing it. And it's what I call a vision of doing something. Here on my mission, it's referred to all the time as a vision of the work. Does an elder have a vision of the work? Does he know what he's doing and why he's doing it? Does he know why he goes out and tracks 8-10 hours a day? Does he know why he teaches and what he teaches? And I really don't think I had a vision of why I was going to school before, but I'm going to try and get one when I get back. My mission has also taught me a little bit about diligent study, and I've learned more about the gospel and church history in the last 9 months than I have my whole life. I think the knowledge that I have now about doctrine and about church history is just invaluable. This book, Thompson, that you've given me, called The Doctrine and Covenants Commentary, that's the most fantastic book in the whole world. I sit down and open up a section of that and read what the revelation was, and then read the commentary to it. It's just fantastic. And some of the stuff that I just can't believe. I'm just grateful to the Lord for a book like that to teach us the truth. This whole road of eternal progression is quite the road, and someday I'm looking forward to being able to inherit the celestial kingdom. Don't know if I'll make it or not, but I'm sure going to give it a good try, because that's something else my mission has instilled in me, is a desire to do the best that I possibly can. I want to be the best servant of the Lord I can possibly be while I'm here. After I leave the mission field, I want to be a good citizen of my community, and I want to be a person who lives the gospel. But, I don't know, a lot of things I've thought about, and I just thank my Heavenly Father every day for these things that He's taught me while I've been on my mission. This tape recorder I'm using now is a real nice tape recorder. It's a portable, small, but it's got good tone quality. It's got 2 speeds, 1 7/8 and 3 3/4, so that makes it a little bit more convenient, whereas you don't have a 1 7/8 tape recorder there at home. And I had that one tape recorder, which it just played 1 7/8, but I got rid of it because it was no good for letter tapes. It was okay when I wanted to record worldly music and hear it and everything, but it's no good for letters and stuff. I want to get some letter tapes from you, and I want to play them and things. I'll send some more to you, and it's convenient. This is a real nice tape recorder. I've had several Christmas cards so far. One's been from Mill Creek 9th Ward, had a $10 check in it. I just about fell over and died. I couldn't believe it. man, these people don't even know me. I'm a foreigner to them, and they send me $10. It's, man, the gospel of Christ is really something. And I received a check from the Bedford Ward, signed by the bishopric, for $5. I received a check from the Bedford Relief Society for $5, signed by the Bedford Relief Society presidency. So, boy, I'm really up in the world. That's $20 I got. And then Uncle Boone sent me a Christmas card, and it had a check in it for $50. What can I say about it? The man's got a heart of gold, just like everybody else in my family. I'm so grateful for my family and the bloodline which we do have. I know there's some wonderful people in the church, but a lot of them don't have this bloodline which we have, or which I have. And, man, I look at it, people on my mother's side are in the church, and people on my dad's side are in the church, and they're just like, man, like brothers and sisters. And I try to imagine what the celestial kingdom is going to be like with these people there, and how wonderful they are. Uncle Blaine and Uncle Seth and Uncle Reed, and how close they are to me. And then I think about Uncle C.H. and what a wonderful man he is, how close and dear he and his family are to me, and Cheryl. Don't want to leave you out. And Uncle Boone and his lovely wife, Aunt Eileen. They're just close and wonderful, so full of love. And their hearts are just as big as gold, just as big as the world. And I love every one of them. Really great. My own immediate family. Mother, I want to say happy birthday to you. I know I'm late, as usual. And I didn't know quite what to do. I thought maybe it'd be quite ridiculous to send you a gift. Seems how you send me money. It'd be stupid for me to use the money you send me to send something back to you. It's like sending the money back to you again. But maybe you can accept this tape as both a birthday and a Christmas present to you. I hope it'll fill the bill. I thought at one time that maybe I would send you some flowers or something. But like I said, it's just like sending the money back home. So I think I better, watch my money as close as I can. I was talking to Tony the other day about how I was going to send you something for your birthday, and he said he wanted to get in on it too. He's so thankful to you for sending that Book of Mormon, and it got to me so fast. Boy, it just was really wonderful. He's really thankful that you've sent it, and he sits down and reads it all the time. Then we go there and he tells us what he's read. And he asks us questions about it. Wonderful man. He wanted to contribute on a birthday present for you, even though he doesn't make all that much money. So, might tell you a little bit about London while we were there. I haven't been to a place like that in the whole world, I don't think. I've been to Mexico, but Mexico wasn't as carnal or as worldly as this place was. We had some time in London, and we went to a place called Piccadilly Circus. Now, they call a Piccadilly Circus is not a circus, as we know a circus. A circus is a center, a town center, or not exactly a town center, but a place where there's a whole bunch of shops and pubs, bars, we call them bars, pubs over here. And this is just a big center where there's a lot of action, a place like that. Trafalgar Square, you've probably heard of Trafalgar Square in London. That's a big place there with a fountain. There's a big fountain there, and the places there in Buckingham Palace. Saw that. I might mention that I saw a '66 Stingray painted British racing silver convertible while I was there. Looked pretty good, and we saw the changing of the guard and the famous bloke traditions, which I think are completely ridiculous. But I guess they have to keep with it and maintain their style. While we were there, we went to Piccadilly Circus. Now, this is a place where the kids go because there's a lot of action there. The back streets off of Piccadilly Circus are just really carnal. They have a little square there called Soho Square. And this is where all the striptease joints are. And we just, in broad daylight, we walked down there as a whole district just to see what it was like. And where the guys try to get you in there. For 10 shillings, you can go in and see the girl take her clothes off. And boy, you just feel the old evil spirits hanging around. Boy, I had to get out of there quick. It's pretty bad. But it's quite a place, this old place of England. Pretty carnal, especially there in London. We rode the subways. They have subways. They call them undergrounds in London, and that was our means of transportation. They have a beautiful chapel there, the Hyde Park Chapel. Now, they have several beautiful chapels, but the Hyde Park is really nice. It looks pretty funny to see Stake President written on the door. They have a stake there in London, and Bishopric and Stake High Council. And Hyde Park Chapel has several stories high, and it has an elevator in it. It's really a nice place. When I look at myself, I don't really think that I've changed all that much, except for the fact that I've become more aware of the church and the teachings. But just from a personal aspect, I haven't changed all that much. I'm still as ornery as ever. I still like the worldly music. I still like the same kind of music I did. Every time I get a chance to hear the radio or something, I take advantage of it. Of course, we're only supposed to do that on D-days, so I don't do it too often. And I love my Bill Cosby. I heard him on the radio the other day. And, of course, they don't have Bill Cosby over here. The albums, you can't buy them over here because they wouldn't understand what they meant. Most of them, bloke humor is a lot different to what it is in America. Well, looks like this tape is about coming to a close. So I'm going to have to make a conclusion here. Let me just say that I'm well and happy, and I really love this missionary work. However, I am looking forward to coming home someday, seeing everybody again. I want to let you all know that I love each and every one of you, including you, Gay. You're all right, and I'm really happy that you and Thompson are married and that you're having this wonderful companionship. Looking forward to seeing all the kids again, Junior and Tony and Joey and all of them, and I hope that everybody's well and happy. I extend my love to each and every one of you for your support, supporting me here, Mother, especially you. I hope that the Lord will just pour out all the blessings that He possibly can and just fill our home there with love and happiness. And I have said it before, and I'll say it again, that if anybody ever makes a celestial kingdom, it'll be my mother, because you're just wonderful. I showed Tony the picture of you working there in the Foothill Post Office, waiting there on that Catholic nun, and it touched his heart as well. He said she's a dear woman to do the things that she does. And that's certainly what you are. I pay a tribute to you all and wish you all a very Merry Christmas. at this time of the year, and a very happy New Year. And this won't be the last tape that I ever send you, because I'm going to send you lots now that I've got this tape recorder. So I'll just conclude for right now and tell you that I'm well and happy.